Welcome back. We are doing day 2 of our 4-part series for the 4 Agreements, one of my favorite books. I love this book.
It is. It's what does it say? It's a practical guide to personal freedom.
So true.
So very true.
It should also say will reduce your stress.
It
should. Yeah, you can't live by these agreements and not have a reduction in your stress and an increase in joy. You just you can't do it. So the book, before we dive into number 2, if you haven't read it, it's essentially the 4 agreements that it refers to here are essentially the standards and rules that you have set for your life and for yourself and for others. More importantly, yourself, because we're all that we can control, right? So the goal, the promise that this book makes. Did I say that?
There we go.
It is that if you adopt those agreements that are outlined in here, that it'll help you kind of get rid of and override and destroy the negative agreements and the negative standards that you have, your rules, your beliefs, the limiting beliefs that you have, so you can have more power in your life and you can enjoy it.
And reduce your stress in
Yes.
your life tremendously.
Yes.
Speaking of that, we have for you a PDF download below for 3 steps, or actually techniques, for you to get started today on reducing your stress immediately. And these are tips and things that you can use the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
Just wonderful to have.
Yes.
So do yourself a favor and get that. Really.
Yeah.
Do that. So, okay.
Number 2.
Agreement number 2.
Yes.
Don't take anything personally.
It's my absolute
That's a
favorite
biggie.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it has a personal place in my heart for me. So it's hard not to take things personal, especially when you're dealing with a personal relationship, or, I mean, everything that's up close to you is personal.
You drive
right?
through and the barista's a little bit agitated and you think it's, what did I do?
Yes,
and
exactly.
It could be her day, not your day.
Or have you ever heard, this is the one that I think slips most people, but it's totally right in alignment with this, is if somebody isn't doing something that you deem appropriate or not in the way that you think so, you say, well, I would never. How did they do that to me? I would never do that to them. We overlay everything around us with us. Exactly. So in that, the reason we say that is because it's all personal. So if you're not taking it personal, imagine the freedom in that. It's huge.
Right.
But at the same time, I recognize that it is a challenge.
It is.
Right, it can be a challenge. So for me, this book was a game changer. Most importantly, this one. Because in 2014, the life that I knew, that I was living, absolutely crumbled. I was terrified, honestly, overwhelmed, and just completely broken is what it was. And I didn't tell anybody about it, is the thing. Because if you guys ever been there, something else happens to you. And I just felt ashamed, embarrassed, stupid. You know what I mean? A little humiliated. And so that's the last thing you want to advertise to everybody. But a girl at work, I mean, I thought I hid it pretty well. I thought
pulling it off,
all was well. Yeah. In hindsight, looking back, they were probably all like, but people were respectful enough and sensitive enough not to ask me about it, which is great. And I know that you probably think you should so they can talk about it, but that's the last thing I needed. I would have fallen apart. I needed that shoestring. So I really appreciate them for not pulling at that string. But she did go, hey, have you ever read the 4 Agreements? I said, nope, never heard of it. And she's like, I really think it would help you. You should consider getting a copy. And I was like, huh, all right. Like, whatever. And so then I was at the store not a week and a half later, and there it was, just staring at me. And I'd never seen it before, never heard of it before. Well, I was grasping onto anything I could to try to make sense out of my life, offer some hope somewhere and some direction, honestly. And so I thought, well, that must be a sign, because I'd never heard of it, and she brought it up, so I got it. And it became one of the many, many books that I just clambered onto at the time to try to get some relief, some direction. And it became my nighttime reading. So I read it right before I fell asleep. It's the only way I fell asleep.
Well, what a great way to go to sleep, though.
Yeah. So there was a passage that I read, and it was so applicable to what I was going through at the time, and it hit me right at the right time in the right moment. I read it now, and it doesn't have the same effect, but it did at the time. I sat up, and I went, yes, That's it. It was the beginning. Everything else helped me. I still consumed a lot of information and tried a lot of things over the next few years, but that door was opened by that passage. So I'm going to share it with you.
Ooh, big.
Yeah. So it's a really good one. I wrote it down here. So even if others lie to you, it's okay. They are lying to you because they are afraid. They are afraid you will discover that they're not perfect. It is painful to take that social mask off. If others say one thing but do another, you are lying to yourself if you don't listen to their actions. That was a big one. Yeah. But if you are truthful with yourself, you will save yourself a lot of emotional pain. Telling yourself the truth may hurt, but you don't need to be attached to the pain of it. Healing is on the way, and it's just a matter of time before things get better. That is a direct quote from the book in the second agreement, Don't Take Anything Personally. And what that told me at the time was I had power. I had a choice.
Wow.
Yeah. And I could feel like a victim because I was misled or whatever that looks like. And, you ever hear this? I can't trust anybody. That's just bad. You just don't trust anybody. And that's not true. That I learned, if I trust me, the rest is gravy.
Wow.
So it was
Very eye-opening, huge
It
aha
was.
moment for
It
you,
was.
wasn't it?
It was.
Changed
So
everything.
yeah, I know that everybody's going to get benefit in different agreements and different times of your life. Different things are going to be more powerful, and they're going to read differently and be more applicable. But that is what adhered me to this book. So I then purchased this book, and gave it to all my kids when they turned 18. Because I said, you can wait until you're 40 to read it, but you'd be a fool. You want to read it early so you don't have to go back and go, oh, duh, if I'd have known this then, right? One of those moments. Now, have they read it? They tell me no. But have they?
They have a copy.
They do. They do. So, Yeah.
But really, don't take things personally that they didn't read the book yet.
Yes, that's right. It has nothing to do with me. Although it might have something to do with the fact that I gave it to them. But who knows?
But when
But
they get
that
smart,
would
they'll
be-
realize they still need the book, whether
that-
you gave it to them or not.
That would be me taking it personally.
It
Has
would be
nothing
you
to do
taking
with
it
me.
personally.
But you know what I found as I dug more into this and learned more about the not taking it personally, he's actually referring to positive things as well.
Right. We can puff up
Yes.
and get full of ourselves if we...
Yeah. That's just giving. Ultimately, at the end of the day, whether you thrive and need somebody's attention and compliments, or if you get destroyed by somebody's comments, either way, you're giving them all of your power. You're just giving it away. And someone else is deciding whether you're stressed out. Somebody else is deciding whether you look okay or whether you are okay. And that's you can't.
painful because you're riding the highs and lows with them. And the stress that comes from that is just tremendous. So really take a look at that and pay attention because it's happening all around.
Oh, for sure.
So you'll notice it.
You know what's interesting is if you look around, just stop for a minute and think about all the people you know and which one of them are perfectly centered and balanced and happy and peaceful and have themselves, they're completely self-aware and just at peace and thriving. How many people do you know are perfectly thriving in every area of their life?
Not too many.
So which one of those do you want to give the power for your life?
Nope.
Right? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the thing. Like they're still trying to figure out their
They're
own stuff,
working
and we
on it.
all are. So there's no judgment.
Right.
Good for them. I hope they're trying to figure it out. You're always trying to seek the balance. But which one of them has it so on lockdown that you can now say, okay, now you decide how I feel and look and be too.
Right.
Okay, you got you done. Now it should do me. No, we have to do it for ourselves.
We do have to do it for
And
ourselves.
that's hard. I'm not going to pretend it's not hard. You got to stop and go, do I look okay? I don't know. Now I have to, that's
Right.
hard. Am I enough? Ooh, that's hard to figure out, but so important, so empowering. So that's my advice. So don't take anything personally. If somebody compliments you, what they're doing is they're showing you what mood they're in and what stage. If they're filled with love and joy and they love you and they want what's best for you and they're having a great day, they're going to shower you with compliments and you just absorb all of the love they're showing you. That's what they're doing, is they're showing you where they're at that moment. And if they are in a horrible place. They're tired, they're exhausted, maybe they're really stressed out, and they share all this negativity with you. They're just showing you that they're filled with negativity in that moment. So offer compassion or grace, or step away if you need to. But understand that no matter what they're saying to you or what things are happening, their interaction, it's all because of where they're at. They're just showing it to you. That's all. We're just showing to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
One of my kids' teachers said, think about it this way: we're all walking feelers in the world, and we bump into each other, and so I keep on my computer, Grace, for you know not anyone's story, and it's the honest truth. I don't know what's happening to the barista that day. I don't know what's happening to my son that day. I don't, you really don't. So don't take anything personal, and try not to impose on them so that they feel they got to take your personal stuff. So it's a cycle. But
read the book.
Read the book.
If you haven't already. If you have, and it's been a few years, maybe give it another look, right? And then give us your take. Give us your examples.
We'd love to hear that.
Yes, and it really, really does benefit other people. You think maybe your experiences are insignificant, but they're not. They are powerful, and you can really help some other people.
Absolutely. Yeah. And don't forget that free download down there with
Yes.
those 3 techniques. Those are for you, just for you from us. Tara and Roxanne here to help you calm your mind so you can enjoy your life. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.